Hi everyone, it's Julianne here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing one more card that's a part of my 2020 Christmas card making series before we officially move on from Christmas. I just couldn't end this Christmas season without making a buffalo plaid card. I just love this buffalo plaid trend that's going on right now, so I definitely wanted to join in. For my card today, I am going to be using the Festive Friends stamp and die set from Concord and Knight. And I'm going to be stamping both of the images included in this stamp set onto a sheet of expressive blending cardstock using some Memento Tuxedo black ink. Once I have both of those images all stamped out, I'm then going to start working on my Copic coloring. I really love both of the images in this stamp set. The one carrying the tree is definitely meant for Christmas, but the girl carrying the stack of presents can definitely be used for birthday cards all year long. I love when I get a stamp set for a certain reason or occasion, and I can find another way to really stretch out my investment. So I will definitely make it a point to create some birthday cards with this stamp set in order to show you all how to use it outside of Christmas. But anyways, I'm just going to continue to color in both of those images, and I will make sure to have all of my marker caps off to the side of the screen if you're interested in any of the colors that I'm using today, and I'll be right back. With everything colored in, I used the coordinating dies and temporarily adhered those down using some washi tape, and I ran those both through my die cutting machine in order to cut out both of my images. Next, I pulled back out my MISTI in order to stamp out my background panel, and the stamp I'm going to be using is the Buffalo Plaid background stamp from Honeybee Stamps, and I'm going to be stamping that a few times in order to get a nice solid black impression using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Once I have that all stamped out, I'm then going to start stamping out my sentiment, and I'm going to be using the It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year sentiment that's also from the Festive Friends stamp set, and I'm going to stamp that out onto a piece of red colored cardstock using some Versamark ink, Once I have that sentiment all stamped out, I'm then going to cover my sentiment using some Gina fine white embossing powder, and then I'm going to use my heat tool in order to heat set that embossing powder. I'm now going to start working on assembling my card together, and I'm going to be starting out by adhering some black cardstock that I have already trimmed down to A2 size, and I'm going to be adhering that directly to my card base using some liquid adhesive. Once that's all adhered, I'm then going to be adhering my buffalo plaid panel down to that black cardstock as well. Now I did want to mention that I trimmed this panel down to just slightly smaller than A2 size, and that's at 4 by 5 1/4, so that way I could have that really nice black border around my entire card. To add some dimension to my card as well, I did add a foam sheet behind that buffalo plaid background. Once that's all adhered, I'm then going to go ahead and adhere my sentiment to my background as well. And I am going to be adhering that down to my card using some more foam adhesive. And I'm going to position that up in the top right-hand corner of my card, and that's going to cover up those areas in my buffalo plaid background that I really didn't get stamped all that well. Next, I really wanted to make sure that my images were really going to stand out from my busy background, so I decided to run those coordinating dies back through my die cutting machine 2 more times using some white cardstock, and I'm going to be adhering those die cut pieces to the back of my colored images. I'm going to be adhering all 3 of those layers together using some more of that liquid adhesive. And doing this is going to make sure that my images not only really pop up off that busy background, but it's also going to give my cards some more dimension. Now, instead of adhering my images down to my background at this point, I started playing around with the placement of where I wanted all of my sequins to go on my card. And since I didn't want those to move or mess up where I had them placed, I'm going to be adhering my sequins down to my background first. And once I have each of those adhered, I'll then be coming back in and adhering both of my images down to my background. Now, once those are adhered, that's going to complete my buffalo plaid Christmas card. I just love how this card turned out, and I am really loving this buffalo plaid trend. I can't wait to make some buffalo plaid inspired cards. Have you decided to make any yet? Now that Christmas is over, I'd love to know what type of cards you'd like to see from me. Either certain themes, or maybe you want me to try out some interactive cards. Let me know down in the comments. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel for even more card making ideas. All of the products I used today will all be listed and linked down below in the description box if you're interested in anything that I used. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time, and happy crafting!